All right. So we made our announcements very brief today because we wanted to spend as much time as possible with Luis. Luis, should I stop sharing my screen? Do you have your own presentation?
Oh yeah, we definitely got something available for everybody.
All right. Let me
All
stop.
right. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I apologize.
No, I just want to turn it over to you. You're our AI guru and selling out, shows all over the country these days. So we're excited to just listen and learn.
I appreciate that. I appreciate it. All right, so it says recording and everything. For those of you who don't know, my name is Luis Estrella. I'm vertically integrated realtor here in New York, New Jersey, and Dominican Republic. I don't just do real estate, I also do hard money and private money lending. And wouldn't you know it, I do AI as well. So thankfully, within the last, I would say 2 years or so, I've gotten a chance to teach more than 20,000 people how to use artificial intelligence. And that's from students as young as 5 years old to as old as 95 years old. So when I say this, everybody that's on this call can catch up and bypass most of the people who haven't used this. I truly mean it, right? About 1% of the total globe is utilizing artificial intelligence effectively at all. So that's 1%. So if you think you're too late because everybody's talking about this stuff, that really doesn't mean a thing. I just want you to know today you'll start this with limiting beliefs and you'll leave here with unlimited beliefs, right? And that's really, we want to take you from theory to action and reflection into action as fast as possible. With that being said, why are you on this call? Why does this even matter? Will this even help you? And is this going to be worth the hour? That really all depends on you, right? If you guys hear or see a bunch of cool stuff and you leave it here in the room, then it will mean nothing to you. You will have wasted an hour and I can't give you that hour back and none of you can get that hour back. But what I can tell you is this. If you actually challenge the things that I bring up to you, from the moment that you hear them, from the moment that you try them, and you keep trying them, you will leave here 99% better than what you came in here, right? So the very first thing, what is artificial intelligence? How does it work? And why is it good for you? One, for those people that grew up when the computers just rolled out and there was a green lettering and black background, and you had to type a lot to get a little bit and keep doing that and keep trying that in order to get something. The use of artificial intelligence has changed our industry already in the content that's being produced, in the little TikTok scripts and informational sessions, in a lot of the writing, right? Like the Huffington Post changed 97% of their writers to AI more than a year and a half ago. So a lot of people don't realize they've already been interacting with artificial intelligence for quite some time. If you have spell check on your phone or your computer, you've been utilizing artificial intelligence for quite some time, right? And it comes to us in the very simplest of ways. So the website that I want you guys to be familiar with is what everybody refers to as Chat GPT, but it's technically OpenAI, right? And if you don't already have the website, I'm going to put it into the chat for everybody to have. All right. She said, what did I miss? Sasha, you didn't miss a thing. You are here at the perfect time, as long as you're here. All right. The website that I put into the chat is chat.openai.com. So I have two ways that I can do this, right? I can hit you with a little website here and there as we go along. I can drop a couple in the beginning and a couple at the end and leave the middle just for information. I'm going to let you guys choose. So if you want dropped throughout the thing so you don't get overwhelmed, I want you to write a number 1 in the chat. If you want it dropped a little in the beginning and a little at the end so you stay the whole time, put a number 2 in the chat. I'm going to let the room vote, and however you guys vote, we'll do it that way. All right? So people want the goods up front. They said, do not make me wait for it. The chat is blowing up with ones. So we're going to start that way. All right? So the very first website that I dropped into the chat was OpenAI. Hopefully all you guys know that. That's referred to as ChatGPT, right? The next one is referred to as Gemini, right? It's like OpenAI, but think of it as a more shrewder cousin, right? It'll give you information. It'll give you updated information to some senses, but it won't give you the optionality of some of the things that ChatGPT offers right now. We'll talk about that later. I don't want to overcomplicate things, but again, that one's referred to as Gemini.Google. I'm going to drop that into the chat now. One of the things that I offered up to Elizabeth before we got started was this website called Fathom. Okay, this one's a little bit different and a little bit specific for what we're doing now, in that if you want to take notes for this entire meeting that we're having here, and you want the notes to be able to be summarized into the highlight points, into the things to take away, like, I don't know, what AI sites you guys should be using. If you put this into your Google Chrome and you set this up into your computer now, it will take those notes for you. So you can actually focus on trying the things that I'm telling you to do instead of just listening to those things. So if you have Google meetings, such as all hands on deck, or your team meetings, and you want to take more specific notes and things so you don't miss them, you can have AI doing that for you. Okay, so I dropped Fathom, I dropped Gemini, I dropped ChatGPT. It's about to get a little bit better. Hold on for a moment. Boom, boom. Better AI. Okay, I'm going to drop this one into the chat as well. The thing I love about this one is if you go to an AI website, right, you can actually find out if there's a better option for you to be using by now hitting that button, and Better AI will tell you if there's a free version of what you're looking at, a freemium, or a paid version. And you can actually scroll through different websites and find out what's better. So if you look at here, I'll go to ChatGPT. I'll hit the little Google Chrome extension, Better AI. It's going to tell me, instead of this, I can go to Google Bard, which is free. I can go to U, which has a freemium option, Perplexity, which is a freemium, and Claude, which is a freemium. So if I wanted to find out more AI tools, I could just easily do that by clicking the button. And boom, I just gave you a huge AI hack. So now, as I tell you different websites and as we do different things, you are now going to be able to superpower yourself from the very beginning. Okay, great. So I gave you guys a couple. I'm going to drop some more as we go along, but I do not want to overwhelm you. So now you know how to take notes on what we're talking about. Now you know how to find even better AI stuff that you don't have to pay for. Now you know, other than ChatGPT, what's another thing to do. Now that you know a bunch of tools, you need to understand how to use them. This is very, very important, okay? Some people will use ChatGPT and go in there and say, let's do this. Boom. I'm going to show you. Most people go into ChatGPT, and because we're realtors, we say the following. Write me, sorry, it's definitely not the way to spell right. All right, write me a listing description for 123 Prospect Street in Roselle, New Jersey. And they hit enter and they wait. While I don't have real-time access to 123 Prospect Street in Roselle, let me write you a listing description about it. And this is what they get. It's a 4-bedroom, 2.5 bath. By the way, it's a 4-bedroom, but it's only 2 baths. So it was close, but no cigar. It also is a mother-daughter property, but it wouldn't know that. So now I'm telling ChatGPT to become my assistant, but I didn't give my assistant any reference points. I didn't give them any direction. I didn't give them anything that they can actually use to do the job that I asked them to do. So garbage in and garbage came right back out. I can't offer this up to my client and say, here's this listing description of your amazing property. And it's not even accurate, right? It has no idea that it has a modern kitchen or stainless steel appliance, and it has quartz countertops and not granite. So now I look like I didn't do my job, or now I got to do double the job. So I told AI to do a job, and then I went in there and I have to redo the job that AI did for me. Great. Awesome. Garbage in, garbage out. So I'm going to stick to this. If I know what I want to do and I know the result that I want from my assistant or ChatGPT in this instance, if I know what I want from them and I know what the intent is, then I have to give it clear, thought out descriptions or instructions. Now, I want you guys to tell me in the chat, I just want you to write it in the chat. When you rub the genie lamp, whether it was Aladdin or any other genie movie that you guys grew up with, when you rub the genie lamp, the genie came out in its mystical little bubble of smoke and said, your wish is my, I want you guys to write it in the chat or come off mute. Tell me, your wish is my command. Okay. So your wish is not my question. Your wish is not my inquiry. It's my command. That means I am giving you instructions like, I want to be the wealthiest person in America. Is that the wealthiest person in the world? No. So I may have missed my shot to really be the wealthiest person. And Bill Gates and Warren Buffett and Jeff Bezos could literally be in Italy when I wish that wish. And because I wasn't specific, now I missed out on a shot to be some of the wealthiest people that ever lived. Because I just wasn't specific, right? It really comes down to understanding if you want something, please take the time, even if your thoughts aren't all assembled in the right direction or you don't know the right sentences to put them, as long as you have the bare bone details and you know exactly what you want to do with it, the best thing will come out from it. So I'm going to show you some specifics. We went through this a little bit before, but because we only had 20 minutes, we were kind of limited. You need to know how to ask the question, right? This is what prompt engineering is. You are constructing the right thought to get the right result. And the good part is there's do-overs and things like that, but we want to save our time. The very first part of this conversation has to be prompt engineering, because all those other cool websites that I can show you and what I can do, and I can show you, all that stuff is cute. But if you don't know how to do it yourself, then there was no point of you spending this hour with me. There just isn't, right? I'm going to do an exercise kind of throughout this process, but I want you guys to practice it even as I break it down and tell you the construction of it, because it really behooves you to understand what you want to do and what you're going to get out from this. All right. So when you construct a prompt or a thought or a command or a demand that you want artificial intelligence, ChatGPT, Google Bard, Claude, or otherwise, if you want them to actually build something out for you, then you got to be specific, right? I want you to be a social media manager that graduated from Harvard with 15 years of experience at a Fortune 500 marketing company. And I want you to write a social media ad copy, starting with an amazing hook, a brief, impactful description of who we are as a company, and then solving the hook and driving traffic, turning leads into high-paying clients. I want you to write it in a fun, jovial, and relatable tone. And I want them to follow a call of action to text the number 917 or text the word level up to 917-602-0293. And I don't want it to be more than 750 characters. Enter. I gave it a role. I was so specific with my role, I gave it the years that it spent being an expert person in a Fortune 500 company. So now I'm setting a level of expectation, right? If I wanted to write it like an 8-year-old, I can say that. Or if I wanted to be a high-level executive in a Fortune 500 companies, I should say that. So if I'm a realtor and I wanted to write a listing description, do I want it to write a listing description from the perspective of a realtor that specializes in Bergen County with 15 years of experience in selling 1,000 homes per year and an expert in neuro-linguistic programming? What? Yeah, because I wanted to know exactly what to say and exactly what the hot button topics are. And I want it to be directly addressed to them. And I want it to be coming from an expert in the field, specifically in the area that I'm marketing in. So now I'm not just write me a listing description. I'm saying this is who I am, or this is who I plan to be. Because if you're just writing things in the tone of who you are, then you're limiting your potential. I want you to tap into the potential of the person you want to be, or the person that you look up to. And if you look up to Grant Cardone, Warren Buffett, Zig Ziglar, and Rick Ross, for Christ's sakes, great. You can combine all these people into one persona or into one role. You design the task that you want it to do. What format do you want it in? Do you want it in Google format or spreadsheet format? Do you want it in a graph? Do you want it in social media ad copy? Do you want it written in a blog? Do you want it to be serious? Are you writing a eulogy? Do you want it to be relatable? Do you want it to be highbrow, right? So you're talking over, or you're talking from a certain tonality that's more authoritative or whatever from that perspective. You really have to design the tone, and then what do you want the total outcome to be? Do you want them to text you? Do you want a call to action? Are you looking to educate the specific clients? That objective has to be clear. Now, as we know, ChatGPT or otherwise can be pretty loquacious, right? It can give you a drawn out 3-paragraph, 4-paragraph, 5-paragraph thing when you just wanted a simple 900 character description, because that's what your MLS limits you to, or 1,500 point description that you wanted it to be limited to. This is really what we're tasked with when designing a prompt. All right. All right. Let's see. Does anybody have a question so far? I'm gonna ask you to write it into the chat. I don't just like talking into the air. I need to know if you guys are with me. So if you're with me, say I'm with you in the chat. If you need me to slow down, say slow down. I want some instructions. I need you to prompt me on how to teach you better. Thank you. All right, so you're with me. All right, great. Yep. Talk to me.
Oh yeah. So actually I'm gonna start writing a description of a house. Average house, 2-3 bedrooms, older house, overlooks New York. Any advice on what I never used this ChatGPT, any just basics or?
Yes. So my advice is this. I want you to go in there and I want you to tell it. Are you a realtor? Are you a lender? What kind of description are you going to write, right? From what perspective? You tell me. From a realtor. All right. Now, a realtor with how many years of experience? If you had all the numbers in the world to choose, you're going to stay at 3?
No.
Okay, that I want you to tap into the limitless, right? So we came in here with limiting beliefs. You only have 3 years of experience. Do you know what the total amount of experience that ChatGPT has in being a realtor?
No.
All right, let's tap into this real quick. Watch this. Okay, are you guys ready to take a little ride with me? So let's take a little ride, right? Real quick. How many years of collective experience can you have when taking on a persona? When taking on a persona, especially in a professional creative setting, the notion of collective experience can refer to the sum of years of experience across various relevant domains, skills that contribute to the persona's expertise. This concept is often used in team context or when an individual has a multifaceted career encompassing different roles or disciplines. The calculation is a bit conceptual rather than straightforward because, I want you to tell me, because of what? Overlapping integration for teams or collaborations, persona or narrative. In storytelling or character development, a collective experience might refer to the backstory or history created for a persona, which can span any length of time that serves that narrative or purpose of the character. Come on.
So I might have said the wrong thing. So I'm a realtor, but I want the buyers, the description to excite the buyers. So does that mean I still want to be a realtor? Do I want to see it through a buyer's eyes?
Here's the best part. In designing the persona, you can say, I'm a realtor with 1,000 years of collective experience in teaching or in selling properties in whatever county, right?
Right.
You are also a marketing executive that's an expert in neuro-linguistic programming or
Tony
NEPQ.
Robbins, baby. Tony Robbins.
Come
NLP.
on, baby. Come on.
Come
So
on.
you can use neuro-linguistic programming, which is literally triggering key attributes in your brain to make you get into action mode, right? To get off the sideline. So you can literally create a persona that's a realtor, a marketing executive, because that's what a realtor is, a consultant, and a motivational coach, right? And create a persona that's a combination of all the things or all the people you want, right? So you can create that persona and say you now have the collective experience of Grant Cardone, Zig Ziglar, and Tony Robbins.
Wow.
And getting people into go mode.
That's power. Powerful.
Come on. And how much money do you have to pay these same people to be in a room with you?
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Now you forget about the price because now you can bypass them and use all the work that they had published on the internet up to 2021 to 2022, and you're now utilizing within the palm of your hand. And now you're getting that coaching from them without even them being in the room.
Wow. Sick. Crazy.
Okay. Thank you. So that's where we're at. Okay.
I love your enthusiasm. I just love it. You're just like lighting me up, man. Keep it going. Don't ever change. Don't ever change.
I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
Luis, before you keep going, there's two questions in the chat, and I don't want you to get too far ahead and then they don't apply. So Scott Selleck asked, once you create a persona, can you save it for the future?
Mm-hmm.
Can. Okay, cool.
Perfect.
And then
So
Debbie Serino asked, do you need to type this prompt every time or does it learn who you are?
Perfect. Let me answer the second question first. There's something happening in the background called deep learning. So it's learning as a whole from every person that writes into it every single day. With regards to your question specifically, because I got to narrow in, I don't want you to just talk in generalities. Each chat, you see this right here where it says Chat GPT? Each chat is its own little world, disconnected from the other. So if you want something to be a social media generator or manager, a job description or listing description generator, right? I would rename it and I would put listing description generator, right? But because this is a prompt for a friend, I have it labeled this, right? So I would label it nicely and organized if you want a specific chat to be that specific thing, right? There is an additional thing where you can actually customize your own GPT and things like that. But you can also change it so that way, hold on, give me a second. So you can build a profile of who you are, what you do, some of your general information, and then you can kind of tell it a little bit more specifics about you. But you know, that's just if you plan to do that. I personally. All right, cool. Great. Now, I'm going to go on to question number 2. Once you create a persona, can you save it for the future and future work, or do you need this type of prompt every time? So if you create one chat that does those specific things, then you can just run it all under that chat, right? I'll show you an example of that. Let me tell you something about me. So once I learned that you can get ChatGPT to do just about everything for you, once you overcame its objections, I became extremely enthusiastic about artificial intelligence as a whole, right? What do I mean? The first day that it came out in early November of 2021, right? I think that was 2021 or 2022. And when it came out in that year, it was 2022. It came out in that year, and it says, I can't give you this because I'm only an AI model. So I said, well, if you could give it to me, what would it look like? And because I overcame its objection within a couple of seconds, it gave me what I asked it for. So I went on to write 4 different books. In the first night, I created business plans. I did all these things because I overcame the objection, which is part of the reason why you guys are on this conversation anyway. I went into a listing description and I wrote it in Lab Code Agents. And it was the first listing description where a seller refused to pay the buyer's agency fee. They said, well, why should we? And I gave them about, I think it was eight or 10 or 12 objections that I had learned kind of in passing. And these were like 1 paragraph or 2 paragraph objections on why a buyer's agency was needed. And it racked my brain so much that I came home and I used NEPQ, right? I'm going to show you guys what that is. Give me a second. Yeah. Okay. So first and foremost, does anybody know what NEPQ is?
No.
Okay. If we know what neuro-linguistic programming is, or we should, then I went into ChatGPT after I came home after that listing presentation, and I said, break down in detail the key concept of neuro-emotional persuasional questioning. That's NEPQ. I had recently gotten a sales email about this amazing new class about NEPQ and how you can increase your sales. So I didn't remember what NEPQ stood for, but I remember the acronym. So I went into ChatGPT, and now I'm going to use all of the power of the internet to make me a better sales agent. Neuro-emotional persuasional questioning is a sophisticated communication strategy designed to enhance the effectiveness of sales negotiations and interpersonal interactions. In looming this huge lawsuit, we have an interpersonal problem. We do. We have an interpersonal communication problem because now there's a value proposition problem before we walk into the door. And now the number 1 objection that we're going to get in this new environment is, why should I pay the other side? And if we can't effectively communicate that, we got a problem, right? So this approach leverages the insights from neuroscience, psychology, and emotional intelligence to create a more engaging, persuasive dialogue. NEPQ is built on the premise that understanding and aligning with the emotional and psychological state of another person can significantly increase the likelihood of achieving a desired outcome. Here, we'll break down the key concepts that underpin NEPQ, illustrating how it transforms interactions by focusing on neuro-emotional mechanisms of decision-making. Guys, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not. I did go to school for conflict studies with a strength in sociology, communication, and religion. What did I understand? We all got an interpersonal problem until we overcome that. That's the objection. Boom. We're all people. How do we talk to people better? We have to know the neuroscience behind it. Zig Ziglar said, are you worried about the cost or the price? Because those 2 things are not the same. What? Yes. Learning how we can communicate our value propositions to prospective sellers has now become the new frontier. So I'm going to use ChatGPT to make me a better sales agent. Watch this. Neuroscience decision-making, emotional brain versus the rational brain, pain points and pleasure points, psychological triggers, reciprocity, trust, commitment and consistency, emotional intelligence, empathy and active listening, self-regulation, ethical considerations, respect and integrity, and boom. All right, great. Taking those key concepts into consideration and the main premise, I'm going to give you a set of objection handlers or objection scripts to overcome a seller's refusal to pay a buyer's broker portion of the commission and attempt to reduce your listing commission because they don't want to pay a portion of that commission to the buyer's agent. Are you ready for the examples? Now, I'm going to slow down here really quickly because remember what I told you in the beginning? When it comes to developing a prompt, I have to give it a role, tell it the format that I want, the tone that I want, the objection, and give it restrictions. Now, hold on for a second. Is that what I did? Let's pay attention. Oh, That's a whole nother chat. All right. Taking the key concepts into consideration and as the main premise, I'm going to give you a set of objection handlers. Now, hold on for a second. Am I giving it a question or a command?
Command.
Command. I'm giving it a premise and I'm giving it a task, and I'm going to give you a set of objections or objection handlers and objection scripts to overcome a seller's refusal to pay a buyer's broker portion of commission and attempt to reduce the listing commission because they don't want to pay it. So I've already gone in telling it it's going to become an expert in NEPQ. So that's its job, right? It's breaking down the job that I'm telling it to do. And then because it's already in a mode, in a persona, in a perspective, I'm now telling it to use what it gave me before to build the next thing for myself, or the next thing that I want, because now it's in that frame of reference. Okay. And because it did that, I did something. You guys are ready to go from novice to expert. I want you to write expert in the chat. I want you to write expert in the chat. Well, I'll send it to you guys. Don't worry. You guys are ready to go from novice to expert. Look, everybody before they walk into this room was a novice because they were doing input, output prompting. You put a little bit in and you wait for a lot. You put a little bit in and you wait for a lot. That one little sentence. Write me a blog. Write me a this. Write me a that. Great. You were a novice, and so was I. I was a novice for so long until I started doing different kinds of prompting. Okay, watch this. You are going from 0-shot prompting, which is you just told it, write me a this. You didn't give it any examples. You didn't give it any presets. You didn't create an environment for it to play in. Nothing. You didn't give it nothing. You went from a 0 and you shot your gun with 0 bullets in the chamber. But you got something. Great. I'm proud for you. Great. I'm happy. But now you're going to give it a few shots. So it's a little bit more accurate, right? The more shots you take, the more accurate you become. Now, when I went into ChatGPT and I gave it those different examples, I said, look, I'm going to give you a set of examples of other objections. And I got to give a shout out to our office because they gave me a couple of examples of different objection handlers, right? So boom, here are a few. So I said, I'm going to give you a list. Oops, sorry. I said, I'm going to give you a list. Great. So here are a few of the objection handlers. I'm going to put a few shots in the chamber, guys, so we can shoot a little bit more accurately. Tell me if anybody sees or heard this objection. I don't want to pay a buyer's agent. I said, interesting. I assume it's because of all of the news. May I explain how commission works? Great. Seller. Awesome. Great. Objection number 2 that I'm giving it. So Mr. and Mrs. Seller, let me recap this. I'm sure you understand. I understand what you want. You understand that there are about 5,000 agents in the MLS. Great. I think you guys have heard that. Awesome. And I give it 4 or 5 different examples of different objection handlers. And because I used NEPQ, let's craft a unique and effective objection handler using the principles of neuro-emotional persuasional questioning for a seller who was hesitant to pay a buyer's agent commission. This approach will focus on empathy, understanding the seller's perspective, and guiding them towards selling or seeing the value is offering the commission, all without duplicating previous responses. Boom. I built a couple of objection handlers, and if we had more time, I could go through them. But here's the best part. I'm going to give everybody access to this document and the different objection handlers that were created. I think this is it. No, this is it right here. Boom. 17 buyer commission objection handlers utilizing NEPQ and helping you guys be specialists. If I wanted to bring it a little bit further, I would have told it to combine all of the expertise of NEPQ that it's given me. I wanted to take the persona of Zig Ziglar and whoever else you guys love, and then just tell it to kind of do its thing from there. So these are the 17 objection handlers. And because you guys are on the call, I'm going to drop a link into the chat. As soon as you guys request it, I'll give you guys access. All right. Now, I'm sure MAPS coaches will be very upset with me because I know how important it is for us to, be experts at the $1 Million Real Estate Agent. So I created a chat bot to help you guys become $1 Million Real Estate Agents, because isn't that the goal? I dropped it into the chat. That's one of my chat bots as far as teaching you guys how to become $1 Million Real Estate Agent. If you want to, check it, if it's actually functional, you can always ask it. Who is Gary Keller? You tell me if it's accurate. Oh, why would it tell me about the $1 million realestateagent.com? Is it selling me the book that it was based off? I think so. But we'll get some time to play with that afterwards. All right, great. So I gave you a chat bot to help you guys become $1 Million Real Estate Agents. Now I'm going to show you guys something. Can I show you guys an example of something? I don't know. If it's up to you guys. I don't know if I can. Right into the chat. Can I show you guys just a little example? Remember how in the all hands on deck panel, I told you that you can duplicate yourself, right? I was being very, very serious. Okay, let's give it an example. Allow every time on the site. Great. Is now the right time to buy real estate, or should I wait for the market to get a little bit better?
Hey there, the market's always shifting, so waiting can be tricky. It's all about finding the right opportunity, looking for a new home or investing.
Do you guys heard what happened there? I was very, very serious. Very, very serious on my AI panel. Because the point is to be human, right? Or to be as authentic. Did you just respond in your own voice? Oh, absolutely. I was very, very serious. I was very, and here's the craziest part. Let me tell you the craziest part. The craziest part is I only gave it 30 seconds of my voice. I can give it more. Kind of creepy. I know, I understand. But the point is to duplicate yourself. I don't want you guys feeling like you're doing AI so that way you can have another job. The whole goal is so that way you can do your job and multiply yourself. When you buy, listen, the reason why I created that little clone of the $1 Million Real Estate Agent book is because of this. How many of us are in the business, but are still working in the business and not on the business? That's something that Gary Keller talks about all the time, right? Working on the business, not in the business. We want to fire ourselves. But if we can fire ourselves, right?
Hi, Luis. How are you? I hope all is well. I am reaching out on behalf of our team who came across your LinkedIn profile recently. I was asked to send you a quick message and get in touch, so I thought what better way to introduce myself than with a video. We have some ideas we'd like to share with you, so I wanted to see when you have availabilities for a call. Just let me know. I'm looking at my calendar. Next week looks pretty good, so would you be free then? Okay, I'll keep an eye out for your email and talk to you soon.
That person's not real. Well, the person is, but the video isn't. And she didn't record that to me, but it was. Okay. So you can increase your open rate if you're actually in the email. They expect to know you and to trust you and to like you. And they can absolutely do that as long as they see you. And I know how many of us are scared of being in front of the camera. So once you do it one time, you don't have to be in front of the camera anymore, right? The point is to spend more time working on the business. If you can preset by going to postly.com, I don't know why I'm doing plugs for all these amazing websites. If you go to Postly and you pre-program and draft and schedule your post and set it for whatever date and create your calendar by going to your media library and your content planner, and you putting all that stuff up there, and it's pre-posting your videos, pre-posting this, producing that, you go to postnitro.com and you say, watch this. Sorry, I don't mean it. I don't mean to have you guys head spinning. I told you guys I was going to drop a little bit of website here, drop a little bit of website there. So I'm going to do that. Just give me a second. Just need this bad boy to load up so I can prove my point. Come on, man. Thank you. All right. Achieving a work-life balance as a realtor because, oops, I don't know what that word is. Realtor. All right, because you use, or no, not use. I don't like that word. Word we use all the time, leverage AI. So now I'm going to create a 10 page slide. We're going to use ChatGPT 4, and we are going to do the following. Give me just one moment as we create content for today. You guys ready? I want you to write ready in the chat if you're ready. Can we get ready? Are we there? All right. Let's create some content for the day. By the way, guys, I have my hands off of the laptop. Let me top it up. God told her to use ChatGPT 4. Oh, whoa, look at that. A realtor's AI revolution? Hey, guys, did I put that into my chat? Isn't that today the name of today's class? That's weird. All right, Realtor's AI revolution. Discover how AI creates unparalleled work-life balance for realtors. I think I want work-life balance. Automate admin tasks. Eliminate time sinks. AI tools efficiently handling schedules, emails, follow-ups. Reclaim your time. Everybody put reclaim my time in the chat. You guys want to reclaim your time? Smart market analysis, leveraging AI tools to market insights, stay ahead with data-driven decision-making power. Great. Personalized client care, AI predictive algorithms offering tailored client recommendations, like is right now the right time to buy? How my AI voice duplicated was giving my clients the real world advice on why they should do it. Okay, all right, I don't want to hurt nobody. 24-hour virtual assistants. How many of us are paying virtual assistants to be up when we're asleep? Well, your AI can do that. Okay. I want to reclaim my time, right? All right, great. Effortless paperwork. Well, isn't that true? I'm taking today's notes by just activating what I told you guys, right? Fathom. Fathom is running. Look, I got Fathom running in the background. It's on the side. This is what this is. It's literally categorizing the highlights from today. Look, positive reactions to feedback. It's taking the notes from today's, look, 14-minute monologue. Come on. Are you serious? My AI is doing that for me. I don't got to take today's notes. I know you guys are liking today's class because it's telling me. Lead generation. Listen, if I'm creating content, I'm creating leads. I promise you. All right. Expand your network with AI curated contacts, valuable relationships, and so on and so forth. All right. Future forecasts and stress-free scheduling. And then what? Embrace AI, soar higher, and then my social media content. I'm going to post this specific website. I think I put it already, but it's called Post Nitro. This is one that I mentioned on stage, and I was so serious about it. The great part is you can use the different AI models, ChatGPT 3.5, which is the free one. You can use ChatGPT 4 for free. Claude 3. So you can use different AI chatbots to actually create your carousels. You can change the font format. You can change the text alignment. You can also change the color, the background, the whole 9 yards. So you and my content won't look the same. Different color palettes, You got it. You got it. All right, great. But I was serious. I got in late. Ooh, sorry, brother. Sorry. All right. So I mentioned a couple of them because of the limitation of time. I know we're working and we're winding down. But I want to thank you guys. One, for having me. Two, for even paying attention. Don't forget to use this plugin. I'm going to drop it into the chat again. Any last minute questions, man? Because I got some other stuff that I wanted to drop on you guys, but I didn't want to hit you over the head too hard. I wanted everything to kind of be serious. Since I got my 2 minutes, man, 2 minutes is the world of time. I still got 1 minute, I guess. So hold on for a second. I just want to show you guys that I'm serious about how you should be writing your prompts. You are now a high level social media generator with a PhD in communication and sales from Harvard. You run multiple billion-dollar marketing firms, write an engaging viral Instagram post that is relatable, understandable, thought-provoking about the following topic: land, the ultimate investment, buy land, they're not making any more. Discover why investment in land is a timeless strategy and how it can benefit you in the long run. By the way, all that was a prompt that I put into Post Nitro. I created the persona for it, and I took the title of what the little content was going to be about, and then I gave it swipe right to explore and create a perfect call to action to text the word land to 917-602-0293 and add a good amount of emojis and a perfect 8 hashtags that make the post go viral. And because I was that specific, it created that for me. So talk to me.
Luis, if there's any questions, can you stay on for a few more minutes? Maybe not.
I have 2 quick questions while we're waiting for Andrea. One is a simple one. When you talked about, each forget what you call it, prompt or chat is its own little thing on the left, that looks like it puts it in reverse chronological order. Is there a way to pin it? So let's say I make one today that's really good, but 2 months from now, I want to go back to it. Do I have to scroll back through everything I've done for the past few months to get to it? Or can I save it somewhere else?
So I'm going to give you a nice little hack. So one of the things you can do is you can rename it and add emojis.
Okay.
Right. So you can kind of color code it for yourself organizationally. Or the last time you wrote in it, it'll move up in chronological order.
Okay.
So if you re-edit or change the chat name, that'll pop it up. If you rework in the chat and just put a dot or re-enter whatever, it'll bring it up. But it just reverses in the last time that specific chat was used.
Got it. And then one other question. I was surprised. I gave it a big long legal document and asked it to write an email responding, and it wasn't as sophisticated with the input that you're suggesting, but it still gave a great response to this big long document. So that was awesome. But then I've tried a couple times to put a spreadsheet or a Google Doc and ask it to analyze that data and come up with a summary or some insights into data that we're tracking. And I can't figure out how to do that. Is there a special thing you need to do with that?
Yeah. So I would actually utilize Claude, right? It's run by Anthropic. Claude was one of the first multimodal AI chatbots that allowed you to actually analyze documents in a more thorough fashion, right? Okay. So I would dump it into Claude. You might want to change the voice and the tone, or the persona and the tone that you're using, and tell it to respond in a high level way, right? Because if you're not that specific, it'll just respond in a generic way that most people will understand.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you.
Also, with regard to anything legal or anything that's convoluted or very layered, right? What you'll often find is, let me give you a prime example. So if I were to go into ChatGPT and I told it to create an entire SOP for a company for me, right? I would ask it, what are the main portions, or the most important portions, or subsections of an SOP? And then if I said, okay, now using that same structure, write me an entire SOP, because I gave it such a huge task to do, built off a multi-layered thing, it's going to give me a little choppy summarization of what each portion should look like. However, if I were to say, now give me that detailed breakdown, right? So let me show you a prime example. If I were to say, I did this for you guys here. You remember how I gave that prompt at the end of the panel? You guys remember that?
Yep.
All right. Let me show you what happens, right? So let's see. All right, here we go. Now, the prompt that I gave you guys, I don't know if you guys were writing your notes fast enough or you went back to the video. I need you to create a social media content calendar for the next 30 days. I post on Instagram. My business is as a realtor that specializes to help first-time home buyers access down payment and closing cost assistance. So this is a little bit about me and what I specialize in, about the home buying process and how to crush it in this competitive market. I specialize in helping sellers get the most amount of money in the shortest amount of time and feel comfortable with the process. I post 5 times per week. I want to strike a balance of where some are funny and engaging and the others promote and sell my services. You will need to help me with this, and you will provide a full content calendar. First, you will ask me questions about my business and audience that you believe you need until you have the right amount of information. Then you will provide the content calendar formatted as a table. A text caption will be in one column, suggested image in a second, so on and so forth, and then you'll give me key descriptions. So it asked me the question that I told it to ask me. I gave it all the details, and now here comes my content calendar. Because I asked it to do so much in a 30-day content calendar, it stopped at 10, right? But I asked it for a 30-day calendar, so all I had to do was say, continue the content calendar, and it gave me another 10, because that's a lot of things for it to do. The more you give it to do, the less it will actually do in the full format that you want it to be in. So if you break it down into digestible chunks for it, it'll output in that way. Hope that makes sense.
Yeah.
All right. Anybody got any additional questions?
There was a question in the chat from Joseph. Which AI site would you use to create a video from your picture and add your voice to it?
Well, there's a couple, right? So Synthesia is one. Synthesia AI. So let me actually copy it for you guys and put it into the chat. Now, if you downloaded that Google Chrome extension that I gave you, you know that you could do this and you could hit Better AI, and then it'll give you different ones. Now you guys know that, right? Just throwing that out there. All right. But as you see, CapCut is absolutely one you can do as well, because it'll allow you to do that. Give me a second. Boom. So that's Synthesia. It's synthesia.io. The rest of that stuff is just because I came from a specific place. All right. Another one you can do that in is video, the one that I told you guys while I was on stage as well. It's one of my favorite ones to utilize. And then you can actually dump in your video and you can narrate over the video that they caption, or it'll allow you to chop up your videos and kind of do as you see fit as well.
Josue also asked, which was the one that would edit my videos to make them shorter for a reel?
This one.
Okay.
Yeah, this video. So I'll tell you one thing. My ROI from doing this so far is more than 120,000 just within the last year. And that's because I've specialized in not just doing real estate, also becoming an asset, right? So let me give you a prime example. When I went through the process of teaching 20,000 people to use this, I was helping people get access to grants, right? So our students won more than $10.5 million in grants. Our students have written books. our students have started multiple businesses. And those same students came back and referred people to buy and sell real estate through me. And I firmly believe, because of the impact that I had on each of those people, not just was I able to start my own artificial intelligence university, I teach courses, and I add value to people in a way that there's no reason why they wouldn't add value to me back. So I've written a book, The Realtor's Guide to Monopoly, A Vision of Wealth Creation Through Real Estate. And I sold more than 300 copies of that book within the first 2 months of me putting the book out. For me, the ROI is exponential in a way that I can't understand, to be quite honest. And the name of my class, I'm actually running a special for Keller Williams agents. So if you guys are interested, just let me know. But I'm going to give you guys one more, right? One more, if you wouldn't mind. This one is not an AI tool, but it will save you more time than you can put into words, right? How many of us, like, I'm going to write my number into the chat, right? Or actually, I'll just show you guys something. If you want to go to AI, how about you go to meetluis.com if you want to learn something about me and what I do. All right. So if you go to meetluis.com, out of all the Luises in the world that have ever lived, I now own my IP, right? My intellectual property. Now, if you guys go to this website and you text me the word KR, text me the word KR, or the letters KR. But after you go to meetluis.com, and I'll show you guys what I'm talking about really quickly. Can I stop sharing my screen? I just want to see if I can. Oh no, matter of fact, I can do it with my screen. Give me a second. There's this app that I want you to download on your phone, and it's called Wordboard. And because somebody just texted me, I now get to show you guys an example of this because you guys stayed to the end. All right. Do you see my screen? Let me know if you see my screen. Oh, I got to stop all this blurring stuff. Give me just 1 second, guys. So I don't know if you guys can see my screen because of this this effect. Do you guys know how to change the background? I don't know how to stop the background on this thing.
If you're on your computer, if you go to the arrow by stop video, you can change. It says blur my background. You can take that off, that feature off.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, let me share my background. All right, cool. How many of you have to answer the same question 1,000 times and want to stop having to write the same messages to your clients because you have all your messages pre-programmed into your phone already, depending on the business that you're running and depending on the question that you're answering and depending on if it's a buyer consultation? Like if you could save all the minutes and hours and time of your day because you had all of that pre-programmed, to me, that's extremely valuable. It's called Wordboard, and that'll make you feel like an AI because you're responding in record time. Oh, but yeah.
Nice.
So talk to me.
D-Rod, did you have a question? You got your hand up.
I did have a question. Thank you for sharing that, by the way. Let me ask you about that word board. So what you're saying essentially is sometimes we prospect and people don't want to talk to us and they're asking us questions via text. You're saying we could essentially load up our script there and just be sending them the script, the questions back and forth. I love that.
1,000%. And you can literally
Nice.
have response 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because you already know what they're going to say to you.
I love that. Okay, so here's my other question. What AI technology can I use to help me manage my Gmail? I got so many messages. I need something that can go in and help me clean it up and keep it organized. What do you recommend?
To manage your Gmail,
Or maybe a mass delete certain things, or
Bro, when you come out with it, it's gonna make $1 million.
I know that's right. All right.
I'll lie to you. Because I need it too. So
Okay. All right.
yeah,
I'll start looking. Thank you.
no problem.
David, I actually use something called Clean Email that works pretty well. You got to put a little time into it and kind of like, teach it, but it does a really good job of deleting emails and moving them into junk.
Thank you, Al. Clean email. I'll check it out. I need it. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Louis, thank you. Any AI apps or anything that can like how to say it, to structure like a template,
What kind of template were you looking for?
like LOIs, those kind of templates?
Oh man, hold on for a second. Man, the amazing part is you can use a combination of ChatGPT, right? You can use ChatGPT to create the LOI structure of what it's supposed to say. And then you can just use either Canva or Google Slides or whatever, or just Gmail to kind of set it together. To be honest, if it's a text document, templates of it, just use ChatGPT.
How about the number? Anything like with the number,
What do you mean?
like how to say it, like cap rate number and stuff like that?
You mean like an EBITDA study or a cash flow calculator?
Okay,
Yeah.
I think that's the one then. Okay.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yeah, no problem.
Can you give us info about your class, please?
Absolutely. So,
And thank you.
yeah, no problem. So my website, how many of us have ever paid for a pay-per-view, right? My website is called Pay Per Truth. It's very simple, very easy way to remember it. My non-for-profit organization that we created to teach people artificial intelligence is called Our Present Future Entrepreneurship Incubator. And we teach people to add more value to themselves and to the world as a whole, right? So I have a grant writer. I have how do you build your course, literally in minutes. AI secrets for mastering credit repair. So if you need either fix your credit or build your business as a realtor and add more value to people, then you can build it that way. And then the Realtor AI content creation. This course is $1,000. However, if you put in the code KW, it'll get 80% off. So it'll help you create content. It'll give you the actual prompts to build the content and use the different AI tools. And then I also have a lot of PDFs and ebooks in there as well to add additional value to you guys. So that one is $200 for KW agents.
That's amazing. Talk about come from contribution. No wonder you're doing so well.
Thank you. Were there any questions that you had?
Discount.
Yeah,
We
go
have some non-KW agents on here. I know you were giving them a discount, not as much. They could get it for $9.99, right?
Well, here's the thing. Everybody is allowed to use the KW one, and if it runs out, it runs out. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But yeah, I definitely wanted to at least give that availability because $1,000 is a lot of money in today's market with the way that the market is moving. So I definitely wanted to at least give that option.
All right. Thank you. Any other questions in the chat, Elizabeth?
No, nothing else in the chat.
Well, thank you so much, Luis, for staying over, not only providing some amazing content, but also giving us an extra 20 minutes. That's awesome. Does anybody have any last minute questions before we let Luis go and work on his
Where do we sign up for the class?
So if you had texted me the letters KR, right? I will know to send you the link. But you can just go to Pay Per Truth, but I don't want you guys paying the full price, so I'll just send you the $200 link.
All right. Everyone know how to get to Luis. You got the number, the website. Are you good? Everyone clear? Maybe throw the number in the chat, Elizabeth or Luis.
Yeah, most definitely.
All right. Anybody? Last chance for a question to our AI expert. Any parting words, Luis? Again, we can't thank you enough. This has been, we've had great feedback in the chat. We've had a ton of people on here. It's been our one of the sessions where we had the most attendees, and it actually grew as time went on, which showed that people were really paying attention and telling other people to jump on. So again, thanks for a great class. Thanks for being so selfless and willing to do all these classes and teaching us.
Most
Really
definitely. The people that came into today's class, and especially the ones that stayed at the end, I'm just going to give you that PDF really quickly, just so you guys can utilize the AI tools in a little bit more simpler fashion. Or I can just send it to Al, and he can send it out to everybody. But I just wanted to make sure that you guys at least left with something.
Yeah, if you send it to me, we'll send it out to everyone. And I think Alicia has a question.
Hi, this was a great session, Luis. So thank you very much. I was wondering if you could share your version of that Chat GPT cheat sheet, because there's several different ones online.
Yeah, most definitely. So I that's the one that I was telling Al that I was going to send out to him. The ChatGPT cheat sheet, and then it'll have another PDF with more understanding of what's prompt engineering, what's ChatGPT as a whole. So that one will be available for everybody.
Thank you.
Just send me $200. Anybody who wants that PDF, and I'll shoot it out to you.
You're the best, Al.
Thank you. All right, I think we're wrapping it up. Thanks again, Luis. Can't thank you enough. We appreciate all the great knowledge you're dropping on us, and we'll look forward to our next session with you. And everyone else, thanks for spending time with us on a Friday. Have a great day, great weekend.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Thanks, Luis.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Great
Luis.
job.
Thank you, Luis.
Thank you.